Waking up to today. It is the second straight day that Rupert Murdoch's New York Post has taken aim at him. Trump says that he is not to blame for the midterm performance, but some high-profile Republicans, they simply don't see it that way.
Almost every one of these Trump-endorsed candidates that you see in competitive states have lost, and it's a huge loss for Trump.
I think it sends a message to the country, along with some other states, that this is truly a pivot point for the Republican Party. This is a time that Donald Trump is no doubt in the rearview mirror, and it's time to move on with the party. It's time to move on with candidate quality.
It's an opportunity to reassess what Trump's role is inside the Republican Party.
God.
And are people willing to stand up rather than caving in on him?
The question is, does the rest...
Holy fuck, John Kasich looks like shit, dude. What the fuck? Yo, he's been eating too many of those, the hobo Hitchhiker's Guide sausages or something. Look at this man. What happened to him, dude? God damn. I mean, it's not like he was a looker, but like, holy fuck. By the way, everything I just said about John Kasich, for those that do know what I'm talking about, they know what I'm talking about, okay? Look it up. Bro, I just got in and here, fuck your gay ass dad at the grocery store so loud. Oh my God. Yeah, well. John Kasich, interesting guy.
Role is inside the Republican Party, and are people willing to stand up rather than caving in on him?
The question is, does the rest of the Republicans have the courage to stand up to Trump, or do they once again acquiesce to him? Because we all know him. He's not going to take the blame for this, at least in his own mind. This is certainly a rejection of the MAGA base.
The Governor DeSantis did it incredibly well in Florida. He just knocked the cover off the ball there. And I think people are now saying, okay, we're moving forward. And if you just look at the Trump versus DeSantis stuff today, it's a heck of a lot different than it was just 3 months ago and definitely a year ago.
You know, I think Governor DeSantis is the biggest single winner of the night, and he will almost certainly become the rallying point for everybody in the Republican Party who wants to move beyond President Trump.
So no.
Let's discuss now. CNN political analyst and senior political correspondent at the New York Times, Maggie Haberman, is here. She's also the author of the book Confidence Man, The Making of Donald Trump and the Breaking of America. Good morning. I don't even have to say anything to you. Just go. Did you see what happened?
I did. What I'm most struck by in that montage that we just saw is Newt Gingrich and the Lieutenant Governor of Georgia, because Newt Gingrich is somebody who has been incredibly close to Donald Trump, has been talking up his strength forever. Lieutenant Governor of Georgia is not a voice that we hear from repeatedly. The others are generally people who have been pretty critical of Trump. We're at a real inflection point. Clearly, the elites in the party are done with Trump. We only have to look at this to know just where the elites in the GOP are.
Maggie Haberman is such a fucking fraud, dude. Like that's not an indication of anything. No, the elites in the Republican Party have always seen Trump as a liability. But it doesn't matter. Okay? The New York Post literally had a fucking article exactly like that when Donald Trump talked shit about John McCain. Okay? People always run the gamut. They always run the Murdochs are finally dropping Trump line. It's just media fancy. It's just palace intrigue. It's so fucking stupid. You know better. You have to know better. Okay? They always do this. They do this. They do this. They're just hedging their bets. Okay? They're hedging their fucking bets. Ultimately, yes, the elites in the Republican Party, the National Party, and the leadership within the National Party do not like Donald Trump. Okay? But, like, I don't know. I feel like she should know better. Like, this is her shtick. She, like, knows Trump really well. If one more person posts that fake Hasan the Hum account, I'm going to fucking headbutt them, okay, over the internet. Like, not literally, figuratively headbutt them. Yeah, I got it. Murat tickled his toes. The verified account, Hostwit. You guys are so funny. Oh, my God, not sheep at all.
Just where the elites in the GOP are. That doesn't necessarily mean it translates to the base. And so I think we are going to see. I think Trump is at his most vulnerable than he has been since January 6th. But whether somebody moves forward against him, we'll see.
When will we know and how? right? I'm not saying what month, but what indicates to you that we will know if this time is different?
Well, among other things, these races that are not settled yet have to get settled. So if Kerry Lake wins for governor in Arizona, if Laxalt wins in Nevada, if Blake Masters somehow pulls it out, although at the moment that looks harder to see, whatever happens in the Senate race in Alaska, because that was a key target of his because of impeachment, that will be telling. If his candidates pull it out, then it's going to be that he had a rough night in Pennsylvania and a few other specific spots. If not, then you are looking, and look, a lot of these candidates had tougher races than they should have, given everything. We will know in the next few months if, among other things, DOJ moves forward against him. Does Ron DeSantis start making more moves than he's been doing? And DeSantis is really the one to watch, as we just heard. Trump is never going to acknowledge that something is wrong. And folks around him spent all day yesterday insisting nothing bad really happened. Something bad happened. We're just not sure what it means.
What was he saying yesterday behind the scenes? Because I know he's tweeting or he's posting on his website about he personally believes he was successful, but Republicans themselves were not on Tuesday night.
Right. It was for some people it was disappointing, but I did well was essentially his tweet. And that's also not true, by the way. Like, he did well in some places. Privately, according to multiple people I talked to, he was very angry. The focal point of his anger was the Oz race in particular, because that was not a natural fit for him, and he was convinced to do it. And of course, he never takes responsibility for any of his own decisions. It's always that some staffer tricked him. And I think, Caitlin, to your question, this is something that I heard a lot of complaining about from people around him yesterday. You know, his aides who are in his world, paid aides, are all insisting nothing's wrong, status quo, everything goes forward. Other people are saying, how many years are we going to spend blaming it on staff? And I think you are going to hear more of that as we go forward.
One big question is, does it delay his announcement? I know there have been some people, even on the record, Kayleigh McEnany, Jason Miller, saying he should wait, not do it, but wait until after December 6th, which is when that Georgia runoff is.
They all, in his world, think that he should do that. Now, how forcefully they make that case to him versus say it to each other is always the open question. But that is the key date to watch for next week. He, I think, does not want to. A bunch of people close to him also are worried it will show some sign of weakness. But he's going to get blamed if he continues to go ahead and Walker loses.
What do you make of Mike Pence out with this op-ed today? His book comes out Tuesday, same day Trump's going to make this big announcement from.
I love people saying Mike Pence is going to come out with a book. Like, I love how fucking stupid the media is. You know what I mean? Like, it's like Mike Pence right now is like that fucking kid that everyone at the other high school likes and hypes up, but you just don't have any idea why, and he kind of sucks ass. And like, ultimately, outside of the boundaries of the other high school, like, he's just a fucking total loser. Just like, everyone in the media is like, oh man, can't wait for the Mike Pence book to come out. It's going to be really spicy. Big game changer. It's like, no, man, nobody cares. Stop trying to make Mike Pence happen. Okay? Unless the book features Mike Pence just straight up ass shots, okay? Naked, wearing assless chaps, talking about how he's gay. I don't give a fuck. Okay? That's right. That's the only thing that would be like, wow, that's actually unique and interesting. You guys have never seen that stuff? The dude that kind of looks like Mike Pence? What the fuck? I thought this was a gay-ass community. Y'all are fucking fake, dude. I'm taking your F-word card away. Half of you motherfuckers can't even say it, dude. You're not allowed anymore. That's right. Me, the cishet guy, is telling you you can't say it. If you haven't seen what I'm talking about, you're not even in the, gay circles. The media always reminds me of the South Park episode where everyone is sniffing their own farts. Yeah. Did Austin show you? Dude, what? That is the most laughable aspect of this commentary, is that Austin would show me some gay shit. And not the other way around. That is actually funny. What the fuck? You think Austin would know some gay shit that I don't know? Are you insane? Austin still likes going to the Abbey. That's crazy to me that you would think that Austin, just by virtue of being gay, okay, would know more about gay culture than I do. A person who's been living in West Hollywood for like 8 years.
From Mar-a-Lago. What do you make of him? I mean, as Don's been pointing out, he's selling a book. He could have said all this stuff to the public, put it on the record in the days following January 6th, and he didn't.
Or to the House Select Committee.
Yeah, there you go.
I think that this is there's an alternate universe where this is his House Select Committee testimony. But that said, I think it's an important part of the historical record. I think that he and his folks have voiced issues with the Select Committee that they consider to be about process and how things were conducted. It's pretty striking, Poppy, hearing Pence talking about this in his own words. I mean, he is talking about, he confirms much of the reporting that's been out there already. So yes, there are people who are going to read this and say, well, we knew this, except we didn't know it in first person from Mike Pence. He explains
I love that she's basically admitting that there's nothing new in there.
why he didn't want to leave the building. And it's not because he thought that he was going to be essentially kidnapped by the Secret Service as part of a plot. It's that he didn't want the image of his caravan fleeing, his motorcade fleeing the Capitol. He confirms conversations that he had with Trump. He describes this lengthy pressure campaign. And then a really interesting moment after January 6th and his first conversation with Trump, I think it's 5 days later, orchestrated by Trump's son-in-law and daughter, Trump has a moment where he says, what if that rally didn't happen?
There's just no fucking shot there's anything interesting in there. I hope I'm wrong, but why Trump will win the nomination regardless? Yes, because a larger percentage of the fucking base of voters that you have to go through to win the primary are Trump loyalists. The thing with any Trump DeSantis race is that Trump has the advantage of being a nihilist who's willing to destroy the GOP if he doesn't get his way. DeSantis is pretty much a party man for that to do that. There's truth to this. Hardcore Trumpists are maybe only 30% of the GOP, but Trump riles up 30% against the party elite. The whole thing implodes. Everyone in the party elite has always understood that, which explains their servility since 2015. I think it's larger than that. I think Trump's base of support within the Republican Party is larger than 30%. Trump never went underneath 90% in his approval rating in the Republican Party. He never went under 90% in his approval rating within the Republican Party throughout his entire career. Joe Biden's approval rating within the Democratic Party has always been lower than Donald Trump's approval rating in the Republican Party. Anyone who does not factor that into their equation is delusional. People don't understand that. There are MAGA Republicans, and then there are Republicans who are MAGA. But I think MAGA Republicans are larger. They are the most active voter base of the Republican Party. In exit polls, Trump's overall positive view was of only 37%. Doesn't matter. Republicans run to their base. Okay? Republicans run to their base. They run to their base's desires. Democrats run against it. Okay? Now, it doesn't matter, though, because you can't win the Republican. You can win the Republican Party primary with the MAGA people, whatever, but you can't win the general with just the MAGA people. You need to have the otherwise conservative suburbanites. And Trump is toxic. Trump's brand is seen as toxic to the otherwise conservative suburbanites. They're racist. They may be a little fearful of immigration, but they'll still hire an undocumented person. They might even have a relationship with an undocumented person. Like they'll be like, oh, Jose does my lawn. I know him. He seems like a good guy. I think that, I'm conservative on immigration, but I kind of like him, right? Like there are a lot of people like this out there in the United States of America living in the fucking suburbs who quite literally aren't like, we need to murder every undocumented immigrant. Do you see what I'm saying? So when someone goes out and says, Mexicans are rapists, we got to fucking make sure that none of them come into the country, those guys are going, okay, that's a little weird because I know this guy and he's nice. He's just trying to fucking, feed his family. That doesn't mean he's going to be woke about immigration, okay? That does not mean that the white guy in the suburb is ever going to be woke about immigration. He's still racist, okay? But he fucking sees that guy and he goes, okay, well, you guys are being a little crazy. You're going a little too far. Same with the suburban normal white guy and gal that has one of the kids in the group of kids that their kids play with be gay or queer in general, right? Like you got a queer kid in the group. What the fuck? Why is it effing? I'm still here. What is happening? What? Just refresh, man. What the fuck? I don't know what's happening. I don't know what it is. Oh shit, chat is gone too, probably. Oh fuck. Okay, well, I don't know if you guys are here or not. Oh no. Oh no. No, Twitch is getting cooked right now. Fuck, I hate it when this happens, bro. Oh, you're back. Thank God. Okay. I hate when this shit happens. Okay, sub badges are gone for now. I'm gonna keep streaming. I think you guys are still probably here. I don't know what's happening, but I think it'll be okay eventually. So we're just gonna keep at it, okay? I don't know why I'm the only motherfucker who just lost like 8K viewers out of everyone else. So shouts out to Twitch for that one. It's crazy. Shit is so fucking annoying, dude. Oh my God, I hate it. No, it's not LA's power grid. It's not my fault, dude. It's not my fucking fault. It's just Twitch sucks. Dick, balls, and ass. Sometimes with their servers and shit. Oh my God, every time we do this, everyone goes, would you consider streaming on YouTube? No, man. Maybe. I don't know. Stop asking me that question. Anyway, where the fuck were we? Okay. as I was saying, there are white moms and dads that live in the fucking suburbs that are like maybe a little bit better educated than the average like MAGA Trump Republican, or maybe they're not, but they're like in a decent financial circumstance. They have a lot of bigoted opinions overall, but like they don't have the same level of disgust for trans people, for gay people. They might have an aversion, but they're not disgusted by the existence of trans people and gay people because they have like some level of proximity. They have some level of proximity to like a gay person, their children. You know, their children know a trans kid or a gay kid, you know? So they don't have that, they don't have, like that kind of anti-trans rhetoric comes across a little too far, you know, a little too hard. Like, are there instances where you could cut adequate agitated propaganda against trans people? Absolutely. Like, I think that in the heat of like the Obama era, when people were just like going balls to the wall, like, oh, like there was a air about it, even if it wasn't real, where people legitimately thought like, oh, if you misgender someone, we're going to throw you in jail, which never happened. And it was a complete falsehood. But like people literally were susceptible to that level of misinformation. Like there was this attitude that like, oh, God forbid you like accidentally misgender someone. We're coming after you. We're going to fucking destroy you. That sort of thing was like so successful that there was this legitimate, like that was a time when you could cut anti-trans propaganda and people would believe it 100%. But now the anti-woke people have gone way too fucking far where all they're doing is talking about, wokeness and trans people and all this other shit, where that shit gets really boring, really repetitive, really fucking annoying. And it's just like you're dunking on like a 12-year-old at a certain point. And, parents are going to look at that and go, that's kind of gross. I am not interested in that. That is gross and weird. You're being gross and weird. And you sound fucking crazy. Anyway. I have a few gay homies and they're diehard Trump fans, if you were wondering, lol. Yeah, let me guess. They're fucking white. Super white. It's the type of conservatives who watch American Idol still and Queer Eye, but also Bible booping Christians that don't like people saying damn in their house. They don't mean to be on the hateful side. They just live in Beaumont, Texas and have a very red, angry husband. Yes. Exactly. But after a certain point, if your entire fucking propaganda revolves around trying to check 12-year-olds' genitals at school, people are going to look at you and go, you're a freak. Stop. And that's what Matt Walsh is. And that's what Joe Rogan is to a certain degree. That's what this trans shit goes to. If you got trans on the mind all the time and you got turf brain, you're literally fucking running the gamut. You're running into a point where you're unironically advocating to do penis and pussy inspection day at school. Remember, they fucking did that in Ohio. That was like a thing that they were pushing for. It rots your goddamn brain, and I think that is seen as like gross and way too fucking far by normie people who don't have that same level of hatred in their heart reserved for trans people and gay people.
Happen. It's too terrible to end this way. That's the only time I have heard of any real reflection from Trump, and it was fascinating.
It's interesting that you read it that way with the whole motorcade leaving the Capitol, because for me, I thought, well, was this about optics for Mike Pence? Because he could have left the Capitol and still, with his dignity, and still did what he had to do, what his oath to the Constitution. But he could have also stood up faster and stronger to the former president, and it may not have gotten that far. He said, I had compassion for the people when I drove up and I saw, the people at the rally as I was on my way to the Capitol. I had compassion for them. Perhaps if he had been more honest with the former president and with those people, then it would not have gotten to that moment. So I read him staying there as, not the way that you had. I feel that this is reputation rehab for Mike Pence, this book. And I don't ascribe to the belief that Mike Pence is a hero because he did his job. We have to have higher standards than that, especially for elected officials, especially if you are the person who is second in power. You have to be able to stand up to the boss when you know that you're on the right side of history, the law is with you, and it's your oath.
So, Don, I think there are a lot of people who feel the way you do. And we've heard that criticism, not just about Pence, but a number of former Trump aides. The way that I have come to look at it, looking at everything that happened, and just given the intensity of everything that was happening during that 3-month period of time, people in the administration, those of us covering it, it's sort of shocking to look back and look at how much was taking place. I am not sure. I think Pence is in a different position, so I agree with you that I think that if he had said something publicly, it might have been different.
I can't listen to Mike Pence anymore. Okay. Oh, my God. More Mike Pence coverage. Okay. Here's what the real spicy facility is. Here's what really matters. Here's what's actually interesting. Not fucking Mike Pence, who's lame. I don't care. Like I said, assless chaps photos or bust.